What's up, North County? We got your backstage pass with all things music in the North County and beyond. I'm Sean Logan, and my co-host is Randy Doty. Today on the show, we've got Paul Irving, and the musical guest is Roogie. But before we get into those guys, let's talk about the local music scene that's coming up this week. So I'll go first. We're going to start with the Poorhouse. So again, Poorhouse, Leslie's always dialing up some music. She's got 3 nights going on this weekend. So Friday is Bitter Water Road. These guys are a country party band with roots in Nashville honky tonks and their boots on the Central Coast.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you want some country, it sounds like Friday night at the Poorhouse. Then Saturday, we've got Orphan John and the Abandoned. They're a grassroots band that loves the connection they have with the audiences in whatever setting. Roots and blues is in their blood.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Then to finish out on Sunday, which happens to be St. Patrick's Day,
Oh boy.
is Rumor. They're a 6-piece local cover band from San Luis Obispo.
So Leslie over there at the Poorhouse, I mean, that venue is pretty badass, right? And
Yeah, it's one of the few venues that actually has 2 stages, right? Inside and outside.
Right.
So they like to go outside whenever possible, but they do have the inside as a backup. But either one's really, really fun spot to play at.
And they have beer and wine. Do they have hard alcohol?
No hard alcohol.
No hard alcohol.
No, just beer and wine, but the beer selection is pretty intense. You know, got lots of beers there.
Yeah, that's a really cool venue, and it's a great location. Right there, practically off the freeway because you get off on there on Spring Street and
Yeah,
jump right
real
on.
easy location to get to on and off for sure.
Very cool. Well, we got the Club Car Bar.
Okay.
So Club Car Bar located in downtown Templeton. They got a really cool venue stage there. They're having a lot of really good acts coming through. One of them being Sam Outlaw this Thursday.
Nice.
Right? So country act. I actually heard him on my Y2 Country satellite radio the other day, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, he's coming through Templeton on Thursday, which is a country music, Southern California kind of guy. As you can see right there, he's definitely the surfer / country guy and kind of
Definitely
merging
the
together.
SoCal
Yeah.
in the Nashville.
Yeah, 100%. And then Friday night, we got William Fitzsimmons, which is a Nashville folk singer with several albums and songs that he's put to his catalog. And like I said, you definitely want to go check these guys out. And then Saturday night, you have Victoria Bailey, which is featuring the Martins. So Victoria Bailey is also part of one of these 6 Strings of Freedom tour that's going around to different locations, here on the Central Coast and then over in the Valley as well.
Oh,
But,
she's part of that, huh?
yeah, she's part of that, and she's another, country, singer-songwriter that's going to be another knock it out of the park type Sunday.
Right on.
Or Saturday.
Okay, so moving over to Cal Coast Beer Company. On Friday, we've got Steve Burrell. Saturday, we've got Danny Hansen. And Sunday is Soundhouse, the Central Coast's biggest and best cover band.
I think everybody knows Soundhouse.
Yeah, everybody knows Soundhouse. Eric and the whole crew, they play all over the place. Great guys. So,
And he plays mostly covers, right?
They play all covers, yeah. A wide variety from pop rock to straight up rock. So, yeah, they got you handled.
And talking about a band and a local band that really promotes, the music on the Central Coast, and really, I mean, he digs in with both hands and nails and everything, and he really puts on a show, and it's high energy. Eric is very high energy, and it's such a fun concert to go to.
Yeah, Eric's a great front guy, and he definitely is part of the music scene in this area, so always a good show.
Very cool. Well, This weekend we get at the Barrel House. You got on Friday night. You got Azo Motley, which is a electric Latin funk band, and they're known for incorporating an array of musical styles, including salsa, jazz, funk, reggae, hip hop, and others.
All right.
So that's going to be a fun one, you know. And then Saturday night you got the local band, which is the Counterfeit Kings, which they've been playing for quite some time here on the Central Coast, right? And so they play from 90s to today music, and just another popular local band, and they play a lot of the wine fests and the concerts in the parks and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be another great weekend there at the Barrel House.
Okay. Well, rolling over to the coast, we've got the Siren, and for Friday is the Storytellers. It's a predominant progressive bluegrass band. So if you need to get a bluegrass fix, head over there on Friday. Saturday is the Record Company. Now these guys are a Grammy-nominated American rock band, and their music is influenced by blues.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty good to have Grammy-nominated bands rolling through the Central Coast. Then on Sunday, again, St. Patrick's Day, we've got Dirty Cello, San Francisco-based band that brings the world a high energy and unique spin on blues, rock, and Americana.
You know what's cool about the Siren over there is they have a really cool venue, and they bring in a lot of like known people.
Yeah, Monty does a great job over there. The stage is excellent. Lights and PA are off the charts. So when they went in and redid that years back, he did it right. So yeah, he's always trying to get in bigger name acts that roll through.
And from what I understand, bands kind of dig not having to set up as much, lighting and stuff like that, like what's available at the Siren, right?
Oh, of course. If you can avoid doing a gig that they already have a PA and lights and everything like that, yeah, all you got to do is bring your own gear at that point.
And sing.
Yep.
Nice. Well, Vina Robus is another, local place that we got here. You got April 27th. You got ZZ Top coming to town. Everybody knows ZZ Top, legends, in the rock, Beards and the whole 9 yards. You got May 4th, which is War, which is another local favorite. July 7th, you got Primus, which is coming through. Nice band. August 8th, you got Los Lobos and the Los Lonely Boys, which that is a super fun concert to go to.
Yeah,
those guys rock it. They play some really good stuff, and again, they're just a local favorite that they play at the fair and all kinds of different gigs. August 24th, you got Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. August 29th, you got the SoCal Beach Boys, which again is another favorite, who doesn't like the Beach Boys. And April 19th, you got Bonnie Raitt, which is another legend in the music industry.
Yeah, Vina Robles is starting to roll it out for sure.
So they always wait until about this time and they start knocking them out and they start rolling in with different acts. I mean, we got a huge array of dates here, which are going to be filled in pretty quickly, I'd imagine.
Right. Speaking of bigger name acts, of course, we've got the Mid-State Fair. And so far, only 3 acts announced so far. Okay, we got Zach Brown Band on Sunday, July 21st. Then we've got Jelly Roll on Tuesday, July 23rd.
That's going to be a good concert.
And then just announced last week, I believe, Nickelback on Wednesday, July 24th. So did you get your tickets for those?
I didn't, but I heard Jelly Roll's tickets were like the $65 tickets. Just they went out like they were immediately gone. And so I can imagine that, it's going to be a very, very popular concert to go to. And then with the announcement of Nickelback, who doesn't like Nickelback?
Right.
Come on. They play some really good stuff, very well-known stuff. And I can imagine, that concert is going to be, one of the ones that you want to go check out.
Yeah, I think the Jelly Roll, the whole thing might be sold out now.
Could be. It very well could be.
100%, but...
Well, remember several years back, Garth Brooks sold out like immediately.
Right.
And then he played another concert after the original one to accommodate all the people that wanted to go.
Right. I don't think that's going to happen this year, though.
Yeah, I think the fair got a little, that was like, okay, we're not doing that anymore, because it went on till, super late. And then remember when Alice Cooper came.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah,
It was,
the jet had a hole in it that they had to
Yeah.
fix, so they were late.
That was
right.
like 2 a.m.
Right.
That was wild.
That
was wild.
That was a crazy one too.
Very cool, man. Well, everybody's excited for the fair as always.
Yeah, so they'll be announcing some more acts, I'm sure. But speaking of live acts and everything, we've got with us today, we've got Rugi, who is going to be playing a few songs for us tonight. And let's just throw it over to him.
All right. I usually play copies, and this is my first opportunity to play some originals. So I'm going to take that opportunity, and this song is called Voyager. I will find in you a love I've never known. Clearly now, I've seen your eyes before in a dream. Well, I'll search for you at night by the stars that light the sky. And I am captain of this ship, and I'll search for you, for you. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart, for you. I am a voyager. Oh yes, time goes on, it feels like never before. Anticipate the timeless love that brings me closer to your heart, to you. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart, for you. I am a voyager. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart. I know that love is good, and I'm searching for your heart, for you. I am a voyager. A voyager, a voyager, a voyager.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oil filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
And we're back. We got in now, Paul Irving. Paul, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it, Sean.
Yeah, of course. So why don't we get into what got you started playing music and wanting to play music?
Well, I was like 8, and my dad brought home this trumpet. And he said, "Here, Paul, you're going to play a trumpet." I said, "Okay." Very interesting. This was, I really hadn't given it much thought before then. I think he wanted to play trumpet as a kid, but didn't have the opportunity, and so he's projecting that upon me.
Gotcha.
And so this is Milford, Massachusetts, back in 1974, and they really promoted music pretty well in the schools. You know, they had private lessons for all the kids.
Oh.
And ensemble band and all that, and so I kind of cut my teeth on school band and played all the way through high school. In high school, I was like first chair trumpet in a really crappy band at Bishop Amat High School in La Puente, California, like East LA.
Okay.
And it was a Catholic high school, so they loaded up your curriculum with a bunch of religion. And if you did everything right, you can take your last period off as a senior, right? And so I said, okay, I've done everything like I should, and I'm just going to opt out of band. And I was called into the dean's office, and they said, "You know what, Paul, if you like the diploma here, you like band." And so they basically forced me to play music, which really kind of gave me a
bad taste.
It really gave a bad taste. And so I was done with trumpet when I was done with high school, until I moved up to San Luis Obispo, and the dude that lived across the street from me, this guy Dave McClure, was the drummer in a local reggae and ska band called Rocksteady Posse. You remember that?
Oh,
you
yeah.
ever heard of that?
Yeah,
it was big in the 80s.
Right, late
around
80s.
80s, early 90s.
Right.
And so he recruited me, and I played with those guys, and we toured up and down California, and it really kind of opened my eyes to how much fun you can have playing music. And so I've kind of stuck with it ever since. I parted ways with Rocksteady Posse in the early 90s as the band made its way up to the Bay Area, and then kind of became a regional touring act for a while. And I kind of hung back with my coastal lifestyle down here.
Gotcha. So you're in Zongo All-Stars band right now.
Yeah.
Tell us about that band, what it's about, and how you got involved with it.
Okay, so the roots of Zongo goes back to another band in the mid-90s called Mosaic.
Okay.
And Mosaic started out as 3 dudes with hand drums, like African drums,
Right.
and a trumpet. And so we were having a good time with it, and it's like, okay, let's throw some shows with 3 dudes and a trumpet. And people actually bought tickets to come see 3 dudes and a trumpet.
Nice.
It's like, okay, there's maybe something here. So we added a saxophone, we added steel drums, and then not long after, we had recruited this trio from Morro Bay High School. Maybe you know some of these guys. Jennings Jacobson.
Nope.
Okay, so Jennings is he was the house manager of the Fremont Theater. He's the assistant general manager of Vina Robles now, and a badass drummer. And so he joined us when he was like 16 or 17 or something like that.
Wow.
Dylan Johnson, on bass,
Okay.
another local legend, and Jacob Odell on guitar.
Okay.
You know Jacob?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so we kind of brought those guys in as a rhythm section and added them to this like horns and drum trip
All right.
back. And we got super popular. We were playing the Garden Street Slow Brew, and like we were one of the first bands that kind of made that place happen, and just crushed it and had kind of like a little cult following until the band kind of blew up. And we took almost a decade off while Dylan and Jake went back east. They got their jazz bachelor's at Berklee School of Music, and then Dylan hung back and got his master's at SUNY Purchase, and then worked the jazz scene in New York City
Wow.
for like a long time, and then woke up one morning and said, you know what, I kind of like Morro Bay. I want to go home. And when we got wind of that, that was time to like get the band together again. So we got all the guys back together and called it Zongo. And so Zongo's been together since 2007 now. And we've been, we're kind of like a special occasion band now. And it takes a lot of work to get 7 to 8 guys together for
Right.
shows.
Right.
So
That's a long time being together, though, for sure.
it is a long time. We've got a lot of history. We probably have like 3,416 collective years amongst us, something like that. But
What about as far as set list? Is it covers, originals, a mix of both?
it's all 100% original,
All 100% nice.
no
nice.
covers.
Have you guys put any recordings together?
We have actually got one CD together. I mean, you can go to any streaming platforms and pull it from there. It's on Spotify or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
What year was that?
it probably goes back 8 years ago,
Oh, okay.
something like that. Yeah, so we're going to try to do one every decade or
That's good. Pace yourself. Pace
right.
yourself.
Don't want to rush it.
Right. Tell us about your trumpet. What I like to ask the musicians about their gear. So, what can you tell us about the instrument you play?
I've got a bunch of horns, but the one that I'm currently playing is a 1952 Martin Committee. Back in the day, like 50s, 60s, it was kind of like the horn that all the heavy guys were playing. It was like, you know, Dizzy Gillespie's got that horn with that upturned bell.
Right.
That was a Martin Committee that he adapted
Okay.
to that thing. Miles Davis had one. Chet Baker had one. Like all the guys were kind of playing them.
So that 50s era is kind of like the go-to.
I really like the warm tone to it. And, yeah.
When did you pick that up?
That was a gift. It was probably about 3 years ago, 4 years
Oh.
ago. Yeah,
Pretty new still.
pretty new. Yeah, and then I've got a flugelhorn, and I've got a Benj Pro horn, and I've got like a 1954 Bach Stradivarius cornet that I play sometimes.
Wow.
Some weird stuff.
If you could jam with one person or one band, who or what would it be?
You know, it's interesting. So, one guy who's always been kind of a hero or a legend to me is Arturo Sandoval. Familiar with him?
No.
20-something Grammys, and just, you know,
Wow.
probably the most notable musician to ever come out of Cuba, and he's Presidential Medal of Honor. You know, the guy's huge, but he's a freaking monster trumpet player.
Right.
And he threw out on his Facebook one time. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm in town for the holiday. Who wants a lesson? And I raised my hand, and I set it up with his wife, and I actually went down to his house and spent a couple hours with him down in L.A.
Wow.
in his living room, just me and him with our trumpets.
That's pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool. There's another guy. I like all this world music, salsa music. There's this guy, Ricardo Lembo, who's got this smoking salsa band called Ricardo Lembo and Maquina Loca. And they're based out of L.A. And remember Scott Andrews had the Slow Jazz Festival? Remember that? Well, he somehow or another, like the last year of that festival, it kind of got fragmented and kind of like, instead of one thing at the Mission, it kind of became a multi-venue type thing. He had booked Ricardo, and they put his show up at Tooth and Nail. And Ricardo had given me a call because he needed an extra trumpet guy, and he hired me for that gig.
Wow.
And so I love his music, and that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, that must be pretty cool to get a call like that.
Yeah, super challenging because all that, it's like Latin speed bop stuff. And
So you've been around the music scene since the 90s, right?
80s.
Since the 80s. Okay, well, even further than I was thinking. What are some differences locally in the music scene from back in the 80s, 90s to now? Do you see any changes, differences?
Well, yeah. When I first landed in San Luis Obispo in 1986, one of the first things I noticed is that you can go downtown slow, right? And I counted it up. Like in 1987, just on a regular old Saturday night, there was 13 venues popping all at the same time with live music.
In San Luis?
In downtown San Luis.
Oh my God.
Just downtown San Luis. And it's like, wow, this thing is popping. And it was really a vibrant culture of live music. And I think that's when I was kind of getting into the scene, I got so excited about all of this. And then, everything goes in waves, right? And so in the 90s, we saw electronic music really starting to take a foothold, and live music kind of suffered. And that scene kind of went a little bit dormant, I think. And then in the 90s, it started coming back. And now it's so vast and so rich and so deep, and there's so much of it happening all over the place. It's really, really difficult to even comprehend how much music is going on all the time in San Luis Obispo County. And I did a survey because I got my big slow business, and basically it's trying to connect venues with bands to audiences. And one of the things I was doing is this publication called the Music Source Book, which was basically a directory for bands.
Okay.
Bands find venues, venues find bands. It's like, it's a talent buyer's cheat sheet to local music.
Right.
And in that exercise, the last one I did, I published like 237 different live music venues in SLO County.
It's quite a bit.
And I'm sure I didn't even catch them all. And by venue, I mean any business that's presenting live music.
Sure.
Right?
Could be a winery, could be a bar, could be...
Exactly. And even up here in North County, you guys have, I'm sure you have a better handle on what's happening up here. I mean, you are what's up North County, right?
Exactly.
And just the number of wineries that are doing stuff, like, even with solo musicians, solo duo, trio acts. I mean, it's...
Yeah, the wine industry has definitely blown up the, acoustic, duo, that type of scene in this area for sure. Speaking of acoustic music, though, why don't we go to a commercial? But before we go to a commercial, hear another song from Rugi.
So I wrote this one for my wife. She's never heard it, and hopefully she's watching. This is one of those songs that just wanted a nice title. This is called Sweet as Wine. Take a breath, baby, and feel all my love. Inhale, exhale, to know you are alive. I'm intoxicated with every beat of your heart. When you're with me, I know love that's sweet as wine. I know a love that's sweet as wine. Baby, it's you that has swept me away, taking me to a place where love is not afraid. And darling, I know there are things that we must learn. Take a chance on me, baby. Of this I'm sure that I know love that's sweet as wine. I know love that's sweet as wine.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
Okay, so Paul, we were talking a little bit about music from back in the early '80s and '90s to now. Let's swing it forward. Where do you think you can see the music scene for SLO County in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's interesting. I think it's hard to say. I didn't get my crystal ball in the UPS man today.
Right.
But if I had to take a guess, I think that there's so much competition with bands and venues that everybody is going to be pushing us all up to a higher level of some sort. Like if you're a really crappy band, you probably won't be able to find a gig. And if you're a good band, you're probably not going to make any money unless you're good enough to start doing some marketing and be able to command a paid ticket for your event. And if you're a venue, you're probably not going to do very well unless you're really crushing it with production and service and vibe and everything. So I think just the abundance of all of the music and the content and the venues and everything is, I think we have a bright future, but I think it's going to be a tough competition, so everyone's going to have to hustle.
Yeah, it's really hard to say looking forward, like you say, with the crystal ball, but it can go in different directions for sure, but it is pretty crazy as far as what the social media and everything has affected even local the local music scene.
Where do you think it's going?
To me, I think that it's going to get harder and harder for original bands to play. I think in this area, cover bands kind of thrive. So
Yeah.
So local venues that play original music are drying up. So what could happen is those local original bands start drying up too, or start turning to become cover bands. But it's hard to say, you know. I mean, who would have thought that necessarily we would have came to this point with social media and digital? So who knows with 5 and 10 years what direction that'll take us.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because as I'm hearing you, I'm thinking about bands like all these tribute bands that are coming around, and they're crushing it. They're selling out all this stuff, and like Yachtly Crew, for example, right? Yachtly Crew, you know, for a while was doing pretty good at the Siren until they had to like do 2 nights in a row at the Siren. And then I think they moved over to Slow Brew Rock to do a show, and that did pretty well. And then they brought it to the Fremont, and then they actually got their own gig at Vina Robles Amphitheater. And I think it sold out.
Oh my God.
Like 3,000 people for the Yachtly Crew people.
Wow.
It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
You touched on it a minute ago, but can you tell us about how you established and what exactly the Big Slow is?
Oh, yeah, thank you. So by trade, I'm a life insurance agent and a fixed annuity wholesaler.
Okay.
And if it sounds exciting, it's
because
not.
it is. Oh, no.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
So after 15 years hanging out in the same office, hustling on other people's financial issues, I just felt like I needed to get back into more what ticks for me. You know, what drives me? What's my passion? What am I going to enjoy doing?
Sure.
And so the first idea is that I'm going to be a concert promoter. I'm going to do all these big concerts, and I'm going to crush it until I talk to some concert promoters who tell me how it goes, really. And so I say, okay. So one thing that I've always been very good at it with all my bands, whether it's Rocksteady Posse, Mosaic, Zongo, is I've always been the business guy, right? So I'm the guy who's out hassling people or passing out handbills or taping up flyers and all that stuff.
Right.
And I guess the roots of Big Slow actually went back to my time with Mosaic, where I'd have to put up posters. This is pre-social media. Either you're telling somebody or you're giving them something to tell them about your show coming up, right? And so I would bring my posters up to post all over the county, but I'd take like 5 other bands' stuff with me and charge them. So at least it paid for my time to do it.
Oh, nice.
And then so I became the guy who could get the word out. And then so when it was time to just relax on insurance a little bit, I mean, I'm still in. I haven't, but I throttled about halfway down, and had this idea that what if all of the bands and promoters promoted on the same platform, like, and it was kind of a novel idea, because if I had to kind of characterize the culture amongst local promoters at the time, I would say that they were all fairly well guarded, and trying to get your attention and trying to have this guy avoid hitting you for his concert. Sure. And so, come to my show, come to my show, come to my show. and so I started to have conversations with a lot of the bands and promoters that I had relationships with. Could you conceive of working together on this platform? What if I made a little book that had everybody's stuff in it? And the idea is that we gather all of the information in one place and let the tide lift all the boats. And they all went with it. And so like Vina Robles Amphitheater, Santa Barbara Bowl, Slow Brew, Fremont Theater, like all the venues loved it, all the concert series. And so I came up with this monthly little book for the summer between like April through October. It's like, 36 or 30, 40 page little cute little book that's got everything in it. So people would take these things and read it cover to cover and get educated on where all the music was, and seemed like everybody went out and saw more music. I don't know how much credit to take for that, but it didn't hurt.
And you're still putting that out?
Yeah, so I do have BigBigSlow.com, which is a great resource for upcoming shows. It's got a great event calendar on there. Rebuilding a local band directory on there. And also, I think putting out the music source book, like post-pandemic source book, so the bands can find venues and vice versa.
Right.
And I am going to put out 2 editions this year for the Pocket Planner, I call it. One in May and one in August. One for the summer, one for the fall, and it'll be, hang on to that thing and it'll keep you busy with music all year long.
So if somebody wants to get involved with that and put something in there, how do they reach out to you?
Okay, so for starters, it has to be music. I don't advertise like weed or plumbers or anything like that. It has to be absolutely, 100% music. But like venues, bands, anything that's supporting music, just get in touch with me and I'll have everything. Or you can go to BigBigSlow.com and check out the media kit under the promoter section there.
Well, that's awesome that you do that. Do you have anything else you'd like to promote before we get going?
You need any fixed annuities?
They'll contact you for that as well.
Oh no, yeah. The other thing that I do is I run my 805 Ticks.
Well, so explain that. What is that?
For New Time. So you have likely seen or purchased a concert ticket at some point, right?
Of course.
Right, and maybe you've used like Ticketmaster or Eventbrite or something like that.
Or
right?
something.
Yeah, and so I think our biggest competition is like Eventbrite. Like if you're promoting a show, you can get on their platform and create ticketing for your event, right? This is a local version of that, owned by the New Times Media Group that has New Times and the Santa Maria Sun, and you do your ticketing with us, and we've got 2 newspapers, an email list of almost 60,000 people, web resources, social media resources, and we give you a bunch of free advertising to get your thing out.
That sounds like a great deal as well.
It's super cool. I've been doing that since 2018. They brought me in for ground level to kind of do sales development, and to do that, we've got over 100 organizations that are happily using the thing. It's going really well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's hit another commercial break, but before we do that, how about another song from Roogie?
All right, this last one I'm going to do for you is wrote this one. In relationships, it's always I love you more, I love you most, I love you more than most, and blah, blah. So I wrote this song to win the battle with my wife. It's called I Love You More. All this time, I thought I knew everything about love. My darling, you taught me a thing or two, and now my heart belongs to you. Every day, I'm one step closer to finding a way to your heart. Let me be your shining star, to shine on you forever true. I gotta tell you, baby, you got the magic touch. You've got the magic touch. Well, I can't remember a better time than this moment next to you right now. A shot of whiskey and I'm doing fine, but what I'm drunk on, baby, is you. I gotta tell you, baby, you got the magic touch. You've got the magic touch. I love you. I love you more. I love you more. You got the magic touch. I love you more and more and more. I love you more.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Tascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we'd like to thank our guests, Paul Irving and Rugi. And we'd also like to thank our sponsors, which includes Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Kennedy Club Fitness, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Airflow Filter Service, Pacific 805 Spas, Hampson Enterprises, Borhorn Auto Center, Story Termite and Pest Control, and Santos Brothers Plumbing. Tune in next week when we'll have Cello Bob Liebman in on Tuesday at 6:15.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations, Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oil filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.